Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Good afternoon. The devotional today will be led by Pastor Aaron Clark of Capital Ministries in Montpelier.
Good afternoon. Now, some of you might be thinking, what is it, chimney sweeping season or something? What's with all these ashes, right? I don't know. But if you don't know about it, it's Ash Wednesday today, which is the beginning of Lent. Now, Lent, this is a good time for Vermonters across Vermont. People are gathering, and they are putting on their heads symbols of repentance, the ashes, and beginning to fast. And they're fasting from all kinds of things, whether it be things like you might be fasting from burgers or meat, or if you're a real Vermonter, maple syrup. Not so much of a real Vermonter, I guess. I don't know. Some people from Front Porch Forum. Some people are kind of sick about hearing about the cat that went missing in the neighborhood. I hear some of you are fasting from things like proposing new bills. I hope that one's true. No, just kidding. But what kind of fast does God actually want? That's the question. In the days of the prophet Isaiah, the whole nation was fasting, yet God called it unacceptable. They were doing things like seeking their own pleasure while oppressing the workers. They were fasting while quarreling and fighting and hitting with a wicked fist. He says that kind of fast is not acceptable to me. So instead, God describes his acceptable fast in Isaiah 58. It says, "Is not this the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free." I think about a friend of mine, a pastor, Stephen Tendo in New Hampshire, who's being held. But is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? If you take away the pointing of the finger and speaking wickedness, then, Vermont, shall your light rise in the darkness. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations. You shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in. What a promise. He goes on, if you turn back from doing your pleasure on my holy day and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy day of the Lord honorable. If you honor it, not going your own ways or seeking your own pleasure or talking idly, then you shall take delight in the Lord. And I'll make you ride on the heights of the earth. I'll feed you with the heritage of your father Jacob. The mouth of the Lord has spoken. That's his law. That's his acceptable fast. It's of justice and of worship. Now, where there's a law, though, there is a fulfillment. Where there's fulfillment, there's hope. Christ himself, he fulfilled that acceptable fast of his Father during his ministry on earth. He went about proclaiming good news to the poor, liberty to the captives, setting at liberty the oppressed. And so he went about healing people, but he also went to the cross bearing the burdens of those who are oppressed on his body on the cross. And so for each of us, there are true fasts to seek this season, not just giving up things, but asking more importantly, what task of justice and worship am I called to take up? So as you go about the business of the people, what is that acceptable fast you're called to this year? May God direct us toward it, and may we all have courage. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you.
Members, we have 5 House bills for introduction today. The first is House Bill 905, which is an act relating to miscellaneous amendments to the prohibitions on discrimination, introduced by Representatives Lamont of Morristown and Burrows of West Windsor. Please listen to the first reading of the bill.
H 905, an act relating to miscellaneous amendments to the prohibitions on discrimination.
Now the bill has been read the first time and is referred to the Committee on General and Housing. House Bill 906 is an act relating to reimbursing municipalities for services that address the impact of homelessness, introduced by Representative Goodnow of Brattleboro and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill.
H 906, an act relating to reimbursing municipalities for services that address the impact of homelessness.
Now the bill's been read the first time and is referred to the Committee on Human Services. House Bill 907 is an act relating to legislative review of reporting requirements introduced by the Committee on Government Operations and Military Affairs. Please listen to the first reading of the bill.
H 907, an act relating to legislative review of reporting requirements.
Now the bill's been read the first time, and as a committee bill, it is placed on the calendar for notice on the next legislative day pursuant to House Rule 48. House Bill 908 is an act relating to establishing a statewide Parkinson's disease registry introduced by Representative Critchlow of Colchester and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill.
H 908, an act relating to establishing a statewide Parkinson's disease registry.
Now the bill has been read the first time and is referred to the Committee on Human Services. And finally, House Bill 909 is an act relating to a monument to former Governor Philip Hoff, introduced by Representative Goodnow of Brattleboro and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill.
H 909, an act relating to a monument to former Governor Philip Hoff.
Now the bill has been read the first time and is referred to the Committee on Corrections and Institutions. Members, we also have one Senate bill for referral today. Senate Bill 209 is an act relating to prohibiting civil arrest in sensitive locations, introduced by Senator Vihalski and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill.
S 209, an act relating to prohibiting civil arrest in sensitive locations.
Now the bill has been read the first time and is referred to the Committee on Judiciary. Members, we have a bill on the notice calendar requiring referral to Money Committee pursuant to House Rule 35A. House Bill 757 is an act relating to manufactured homes and limited equity cooperatives affecting the revenue of the state. The bill is referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. Members, earlier today, we had two committees report bills that require referral to a Money Committee pursuant to House Rule 35A, pending their entry on the notice calendar. The first, the Committee on Environment reported favorable with an amendment to House Bill 632, which is an act relating to miscellaneous environmental amendments. And the second, the Committee on Education reported favorably on House Bill 802, which is an act relating to adjusting the census grant for inflation. Both of these bills affect the revenue of the state, and therefore they are referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. We now have a joint Senate resolution to take up at this time. JRS 41 is a joint resolution relating to weekend adjournment on February 20th, 2026. It was offered by Senator Baruth and was read and adopted on the part of the Senate. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
JRS 41, joint resolution relating to weekend adjournment on February 20th, 2026. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that when the two houses adjourn on Friday, February 20, 2026, be to meet again no later than Tuesday, February 24th, 2026.
Now you've heard the reading of the resolution, and the question is, shall the House adopt the resolution in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted in concurrence. Members, we have received requests to read three House concurrent resolutions that the House and Senate adopted pursuant to this consent calendar. The first is HCR 195, which is a House concurrent resolution designating February 2026 as School Board Appreciation Month in Vermont. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas perhaps no other category of elected officials is subject to more exacting scrutiny than locally elected school board members. And whereas service on a local school board involves working directly with students, parents, teachers, support staff, administrators, and the broader taxpaying public. And whereas on behalf of their respective districts, school board members must design sustainable budgets which provide the best educational opportunities for students while addressing the realities of the district's financial limitations, goals that can be in conflict. And whereas navigating this challenge is a major civic responsibility that dedicated school board members perform as they carefully weigh all the factors involved in reaching the consequential decisions that affect their communities. And whereas the still uncertain ramifications arising from the General Assembly's adoption of the 2025 Acts and Resolves number 73, the recently enacted public education governance legislation will pose new challenges for school board members across the state. And whereas school board members are elected officials who receive far less appreciation and thanks than they merit for their demanding and essential public service. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly designates February 2026 as School Board Appreciation Month in Vermont. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the Vermont School Board Association.
Next is HCR 201, which is a House concurrent resolution congratulating the 5-6 St. Albans Steelers on winning the inaugural Northern Vermont Youth Football League 5-6 championship. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas 5th and 6th grade football enthusiasts residing in the municipalities of St. Albans City, St. Albans Town, Alburgh, Bakersfield, Enosburg, Fairfield, Georgia, Sheldon, and Swanton enjoyed the fall of 2025 as members of the 5-6 St. Albans Steelers. And over the course of the 2025 regular season, the team compiled an extraordinary undefeated record, entitling the squad to compete in the Northern Vermont Youth Football League's initial 5-6 championship contest against the Chittenden South Buccaneers. And whereas the Steelers quickly proved their worthiness, scoring the opening touchdown in the first quarter, in the second quarter, the Buccaneers scored a touchdown plus a point after, concluding the first half holding a 7-6 lead. And whereas after a scoreless third quarter, St. Albans executed a long touchdown run, regaining a 12-7 lead. And later in the fourth quarter, a Steeler intercepted the ball and ran long into Chittenden South territory, which framed St. Albans' final touchdown for its great 18-7 victory and an amazing 9-0 season record. And whereas the talented 5-6 Steelers were Levi Chiaravale, Drew Stewart, Max Montagna, Owen Dyke, Chandler Clark, Brody Robert, Spencer Stebbins, Camden Conlon, Lincoln Sullivan, Marcus Taylor, Jackson Stewart, Reed Wilbur, Drake Gervais, Alden Benoit, Ryan Leclerc, Caden Bushy, Camden Jean, Nathaniel Trebe, Bo Vining, Zeno Hatton, Isaac Facteau, Carmelo Hardy, Raymond Christian, Riker Johnson, Preston McCarthy, Carter Longley, Elias Mayhew, Elijah Boomhauer, Paxton Norris, Emmett Dustin, Nathaniel Pinkham, Henry Tourangeau, Connor King, Hunter Gagne, Liam Shea, Chase Corwell, Deacon Weld, Luke Harrison, Aiden Berghardt, Grayson Davis, Jaden Mann, Colden Hamilton, and Holden Lambert. And whereas head coach Sean Stebbins and assistant coaches Colin McCarthy, Brian Christians, Jim Trebe, and Tom Facteau were outstanding mentors for the team. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly congratulates the 5-6 St. Albans Steelers on winning the inaugural Northern Vermont Youth Football League 5-6 championship. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the 5-6 St. Albans Steelers.
And finally, HCR 202 is a House concurrent resolution congratulating the 7-8 St. Albans Steelers on winning the 2025 Northern Vermont Youth Football League Division I championship. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas the 7-8 St. Albans Steelers consisted of players from the Franklin County communities of St. Albans City, St. Albans Town, Alburgh, Enosburg, Fairfield, Sheldon, and Swanton. And whereas the 6-seeded Steelers battled through the playoffs to earn a championship game berth against their top-ranked and undefeated 7-8 Rutland Raiders. And whereas after an intensive first half, the Steelers were slightly trailing 19-7, but in the second half, St. Albans' defensive performance was superb, preventing additional Rutland scoring while the Steelers tied the game, sending the contest into overtime. And whereas as the overtime commenced, the Steelers scored a touchdown on their first possession and successfully converted the point after, then drew on their proven defensive prowess to twice halt the Raiders from crossing the goal line, clinching a St. Albans 26-19 victory and its first Division I title since 1988. And whereas the thrilled Steelers were Zach Montagna Litchfield, Caleb Rowden, Jacob Brown, Javian Stewart, Lewis Myers, Dream Stewart, Quentin Luna, Eli McGinnis, Kingston Gomez, Grayson St. Francis, Silas Reed, Case Reynolds, Matthias McConnell, Finn Harrigan, Maddox Rabtoy, John Garrett, Eric Wagner, Ozzie Blackburn, Brody Aiken, Thor Clark, Jacob Ewald, Lane Patnode, Braden Shalafu, Kason Vellante, Sawyer Smith, Reed Odell, Tanner Limoges, Isaac Caro, Elias Bruley, Hunter Graham, Matthew Persons, Drake Schieber, Blake Cattell, and Lincoln Kane. And whereas head coach Nick Norris and assistant coaches Ben Patnode, Chris Norris, Joe Montagna, Brad Ravlin, Luke Harrigan, Jerome Stewart, and Frank Wagner were thrilled with the team's success. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly congratulates the 7-8 St. Albans Steelers on winning the 2025 Northern Vermont Youth Football League Division I Championship. And be it further resolved, the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the 7-8 St. Albans Steelers.
Are there any announcements? Member from Ferrisburg.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to introduce you, Madam Speaker, to our devotional speaker this morning, as well as to the rest of the body. Pastor Aaron Clark is a Montpelier resident where he lives with his wife and 3 children, all ages 4 and under. He serves as the pastor here locally at Crossroads Christian Church in East Montpelier and leads the Vermont Capital Ministries, where he hosts legislators' Bible studies, which meets Wednesday nights right up here in the upper chamber behind the balcony on the right-hand side. You're welcome to join us on Wednesdays at noon. Also like to note that he also will be hosting the next ice cream social on March 11th after we return from the town meeting break. So you're all welcome to join us that day on March 11th. So please help me welcome Pastor Aaron Clark.
Will the guest member from Ferrisburg please rise and be recognized? Member from Williston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We just heard a resolution recognizing February as Vermont School Board Appreciation Month. And I just want to say, as a former school board member myself, I tend to avoid generalizations, but I feel confident saying it's always more work than you think. And when people step forward and say, yeah, I might want to do that, I think they're often told, it's really easy, it's like 1 or 2 meetings a month, no big deal. And I assure you it's more than that. And it's something that I think most school board members would say you actually grow to love. And it's quite an honor to serve our public schools. So I just want to mention some guests we have here in the chamber. All school boards in Vermont, or most school boards in Vermont, are supported by the Vermont School Boards Association. They provide vital training and guidance and recommended policies and model policies and all sorts of things that school boards really couldn't function without. So I want to recognize VSBA Executive Committee member Nancy Russell, the small and mighty staff at the VSBA, Sue, Sandra, Debbie, and Mark, 2 of whom are also school board members, as well as Washington Central School Board member Ursula Stanley. Please help me welcome them.
Will the guest member from Williston please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Member from St. Albans City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to introduce the players, coaches, and families of the St. Albans Steelers grade 5-6 team, which did win the inaugural Northern Vermont Youth Football League Championship, as well as those of the grade 7-8 St. Albans Steelers, who won the Northern Vermont Youth Football League 1 Championship, which for the first time since 1988. So if you could please help me introduce them to the People's House.
Will the guest, the member from St. Albans City, please rise and be recognized? Member from Essex.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to have the body please help me welcome a young Essex student. He's a sophomore at Essex High School, and he was invited to come here a few weeks ago by a teacher to attend a press conference, and apparently he just fell in love with the place and decided he needed more time among all of us. He spent the day in and out of the Judiciary Committee listening to testimony, and he has stayed and joined us in the gallery. His name is David Geary, and he is an amazing sophomore with a bright future ahead of him. So if you could please help us welcome him today.
Will the guest, the member from Essex, please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Member from Brattleboro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Tomorrow is Faith Climate Action Day, and we will have faith leaders from across Vermont joining us for lunch, the Climate Solutions Caucus. This collection of organizations describes themselves as living our faith through our actions, standing for ecological justice for all. The day will end with a multi-faith vigil for the earth, including an invocation, singing, and candle lighting from 4:30 to 5. Everyone is invited to our caucus at noon and to this event. Thank you.
Are there any further announcements? Members, before we gavel into orders of the day, we have a bill on the notice calendar that the Senate proposal of amendment to House Bill 790, which is the fiscal year 2026 Budget Adjustment Act, and the recommendation from the Committee on Appropriations that the House refused to concur and request a committee of conference with the time sensitivity. And with that, will member from Poultney, can you please offer us a motion to suspend our rules to take up for immediate consideration off the notice calendar House Bill 790, which is an act relating to fiscal year 2026 budget adjustments for the purpose of requesting a committee of conference?
Madam Speaker, I make a motion to suspend rules in order to take up off the notice calendar H 790 in order to appoint a committee of conference.
The member from Poultney moves that we suspend our rules to take up House Bill 790 for immediate consideration. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have suspended rules to take up House Bill 790 for immediate consideration. House Bill 790 is an act relating to fiscal year 2026 budget adjustments. The Senate passed the bill in concurrence with the proposal of amendment that is printed in today's notice calendar. Member from Middlebury.
Madam Speaker, the House Appropriations Committee has reviewed the changes the Senate made to H 790, the Budget Adjustment Act. While the Senate agreed with most of the items that we approved in our version of the budget adjustment, there were several areas where they made changes that warrant further discussion. For example, they made a couple of significant changes to the $50 million we appropriated last year for the Emergency Board to respond to federal actions. One is related to changes in how we look at and possibly support the public housing authorities and Section 8 housing, and another expands the use of these funds. There are additionally questions about developmental services payment reform and some small changes to Meals on Wheels and the Vermont Food Bank appropriations. As we would like to have further discussions about these differences, your House Appropriations Committee, on a straw poll of 11-0-0, voted to not concur with the Senate and to request that a committee of conference be formed to address these issues. Thank you.
The member from Middlebury moves that the House refuse to concur in the Senate proposal of amendment and that a committee of conference be appointed. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have refused to concur in the Senate proposal of amendment and requested a committee of conference. Pursuant to your action, the chair appoints the following members to serve on the part of the House: the member from Middlebury, Representative Scheid; the member from Linden, Representative Feltus; and the member from Burlington, Representative Blumley. Member from Poultney, can you please offer us a motion to suspend our rules to message our action on House Bill 790 to the Senate forthwith?
Madam Speaker, I make a motion to suspend rules in order to message our actions on H 790 to the Senate forthwith.
The member from Poultney moves that we suspend our rules to message our action on House Bill 790 to the Senate forthwith. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have suspended rules to message our action on House Bill 790 to the Senate forthwith. Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, orders of the day. Members, we have one bill on our action calendar today. House Bill 710 is an act relating to defining electricity generating facilities. The bill was referred to the Committee on Energy and Digital Infrastructure, which recommends that the bill be amended as printed in today's calendar. The member from Burlington, Representative Kleppner, will speak for the committee. Please listen to the second reading of the bill.
H 710, an act relating to defining electricity generating facilities.
Member from Burlington.
Madam Speaker, Title 30 VSA Section 8002 regulates renewable energy in Vermont. House Bill 710 amends that section by changing one definition. Over the last 20 years or so, to secure the benefits of having multiple locations across Vermont producing clean electricity, the PUC has developed rules for deploying solar in Vermont. Those rules created the net metering program with a maximum facility size of 500 kilowatts, the standard offer program with a maximum facility size of 2,200 kilowatts, and the Tier 2 program with a maximum size for a single facility of 5,000 kilowatts. To prevent anyone from taking unfair advantage of these programs, the PUC developed a rule for whether two solar fields next to each other could be counted as separate facilities or had to be counted as a single facility. That rule is called the single plant rule, and that is the subject of this bill. As an example of what the single plant rule was designed to prevent, someone might build a 1,200 kilowatt facility, which is larger than the max for a net metering facility. But they might say it's not one facility, it's actually three facilities, each of 400 kilowatts, which each are then below the minimum and allow them to take unfair advantage of the net metering program. The single plant rule was, to prevent this, the original PUC single plant rule stated that any facilities on the same or adjacent parcels using the same technology, for instance, all solar, regardless of whether parts of them were built at different times, on different parcels, by different people, under different programs, had to count as a single facility if they shared any infrastructure, if they shared an access road or utility poles, et cetera. The single plant rule was effective at preventing people from taking unfair advantage of any of our solar programs. But it had an unintended consequence. And that unintended consequence was that that rule sometimes prevented communities that had settled on an ideal location for solar from building more solar at the same location, which they had already decided was where they wanted solar to be. For instance, imagine there is an abandoned gravel pit half a mile off the road. The community decides that's a perfect place for solar. It's out of sight, it's on unused land, it's already disturbed, it's not taking up agricultural land. So they find a developer to build a 500 kilowatt net metering facility in the gravel pit. The developer builds a half-mile access road up to it, builds the facility, puts utility poles the half-mile back down to the distribution line, and the place where the power flows from a facility into the grid is called the point of interconnection. So the developer connects at the point of interconnection, the electrons start flowing, and everybody's happy. Now, in our little scenario, because of the good work this body has done making it easier to build housing, this community grows, and they need more electricity. And they want to site a 5,000 kilowatt facility in that same gravel pit behind the net metering facility. Under current rules, that community would have to build another access road to the solar site right next to the existing access road, and put another row of utility poles right next to the existing row of utility poles, because they can't share the same infrastructure. Clearly, forcing developers to build unnecessary roads and put in unnecessary poles and add unnecessary cost to ratepayers was not the goal of the PUC's rule. Your Committee on Energy and Digital Infrastructure took extensive testimony on the single plant rule last year, which led us to request that the PUC conduct a process over the summer and fall to engage all stakeholders and develop a new single plant rule, which would continue to prevent anyone from taking advantage of the program, but would allow communities to add solar to sites that they had already decided were the sites where they wanted the solar. We asked the PUC to deliver that new definition to us before the start of this 2026 session. And H710, the bill before us, simply replaces the old definition of single plant with the definition that the PUC recommended to us. The revised single plant rule prevents anyone from gaming the system by stating very simply that the total amount of net metering solar built on a single parcel or on adjacent parcels cannot exceed the 500 kilowatt limit for a single net metering facility. And the same for the standard offer. A standard offer facility on a single parcel or adjacent parcels cannot exceed the 2,200 kilowatt max for a single standard offer facility. To avoid screening out projects that the community wants, the new rule allows two adjacent facilities to be counted as two separate facilities as long as they have separate points of interconnection to the grid. In our example, the community can now build that 5,000 kilowatt facility in the gravel pit that they want to without having to build an extra access road or put in useless redundant utility poles, as long as the power coming from the two facilities, when it reaches the road, connects to the grid in two separate points of interconnection. We'll now take a short walk through this short bill, which is published in today's action calendar on page 479. On the top of page 479, section 18 strikes out the old definition of a single plant, then follows the new definition saying any electric generating facilities using the same technology on one parcel or adjacent parcels are one plant with certain exceptions. The first two exceptions are unchanged. Section A is the exception for single-family home rooftop or backyard net metered arrays. Subsection B, again, an exception which existed already, is the exception for larger net metered arrays that serve, say, the residents of an adjacent apartment building. Subsection C is the new exception and says that net metering, standard offer, and Tier 2 facilities on the same or adjacent parcels can count as separate facilities as long as they have separate points of interconnection. With the new guardrails mentioned earlier, that the total of net metering facilities on the same or adjacent parcels does not exceed 500 kilowatts. The total for standard offer facilities on the same or adjacent parcels does not exceed 2,200 kilowatts. The new rule further states and adds a further guardrail that you cannot site both a standard offer facility and a net metering facility on the same or adjacent parcels. Then we have definitions of 4 terms used in the bill. And finally, this change will be effective on July 1st, 2026. Madam Speaker, in addition to last year's extensive testimony, your Committee on Energy and Digital Infrastructure took testimony on this bill this year across several hearings from the General Counsel to the Public Utilities Commission, Staff Attorney for the Public Utilities Commission, the Office of Legislative Counsel, and from Renewable Energy Vermont, the Trade Association for Vermont Renewable Energy Companies. House Bill 710 passed out of committee on a vote of 6-3-0, and we ask for the body's support. Thank you.
The question is, shall the bill be amended as recommended by the Committee on Energy and Digital Infrastructure? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in, member from Cabot.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I interrogate the reporter of the bill?
The member from Burlington is interrogated.
Madam Speaker, if an existing plant plans to add another electrical generating facility, will the owner need to apply to the PUC for a certificate of public good for the new facility?
If the owner of a facility is expanding the capacity of an existing facility, yes, they do need to apply for an amendment to their certificate of public good.
Thank you. One more question. Is there a cap on the total size of multiple electricity generating facilities?
There is not a cap in statute, but the PUC will make a determination whether that is in the public's interest or not.
Thank you.
The question is, shall the bill be amended as recommended by the Committee on Energy and Digital Infrastructure? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have amended the bill. Now the question is, shall the bill be read a third time? Are you ready for that question? Member from Essex Junction.
Madam Speaker, H710 promotes smart solar. It will make it easier and cheaper to put solar arrays in the places where they already exist and in the places where communities want them. For those reasons, I ask that when the vote is taken, it be taken by roll.
The member from Essex Junction requests that when the vote is taken, it be taken by roll. Is the member sustained? The member is sustained. When the vote is taken, it will be taken by roll. The question is, shall the bill be read a third time? Are you ready for the question? Member from Northfield.
Madam Speaker, may I interrogate the presenter of the bill?
The member from Burlington is interrogated.
Madam Speaker, I appreciated the very clear understanding that was provided in terms of the impact on solar power, and that's been referenced by others. So I just want to clarify, because as I read this, it applies to any any plant that generates electricity from renewable energy, including wind, hydro, water, biomass. Are any of those other forms affected by this bill in terms of the change in the exceptions, other than what you described regarding solar?
May I confer with council?
Also stand in recess for a couple minutes. Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Will the House please come to order? Member from Burlington.
Thank you for that. Recess. Yes, this bill does apply to other renewable sources such as hydro and wind.
So, Madam Speaker, just for clarification, we got a good definition, a good explanation of what the effect is of the change in definition for solar power. What effect does it have for other types of, the change in definition? What effect does it have for other types of generation?
The effects are the same on other types of generation, which is to say, if there is a 500 kilowatt wind facility and there's interest in adding a tier 2 facility, those now are allowed to share infrastructure if there's an access road to the site where the wind and the hydro is. And the same proviso applies, that they are required to have separate points of interconnection, and the total, regardless of technology, cannot exceed the limits for each of the 3 programs.
I thank the member.
The question is, shall the bill be read a third time? Member from Franklin.
May I interrogate the presenter of the bill?
The member from Burlington is interrogated.
Will this have any impact on the licensing or any of our major hydroelectric plants?
Thank you for that excellent question, member. May I confirm with council?
The House will stand at ease for a moment. Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Will the House please come to order? Member from Burlington.
This bill will have no effect on the licensing or regulation of large hydro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question is, shall the bill be read a third time? Are you ready for the question? If so, will the clerk please call the roll?
Arsenault of Williston.
2 minutes. Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Will the House please come to order? I would like to remind members that we are in the middle of a roll call vote. Members and guests are prohibited from using computers, phones, or any type of an electronic device. Please refrain from the passing of notes and conversation during a roll call. And when the clerk calls your name, please answer in a loud and clear voice so the clerk can accurately record your votes. The question is, shall the bill be read a third time? Will the clerk please continue to call the roll?
Austin of Colchester. Bailey of Hyde Park. Bartholomew of Heartland. Bartley of Fairfax. Rebecca of Winooski. Byron of Virgins. Bishop of Colchester. Black of Essex. Bloomley of Burlington. Boston of Westminster. Bosch of Clarendon. Boontonberry City. Boyden of Cambridge. Brady of Williston. Brannigan of Georgia. Brown of Richmond. Burdett of West Rutland. Burke of Brattleboro. Burkhardt of South Burlington. Burroughs of West Windsor. Byrd of Cabot. Campbell of St. Johnsbury. Canfield of Fairhaven. Carrie Duncan of Whitingham. Casey of Montpelier. Casey Hubbardton. Chapin of East Montpelier. Charlton of Chester. Christie of Hartford. Chena of Burlington. Coffin of Cavendish. Cole of Hartford. Conlon of Cornwall. Cooper of Pownell. Corcoran of Bennington. Critchlow of Colchester. Tamar of Venusburg. Dickinson of St. Albans Town. Dobrovich of Williamstown. Dodge of Essex. Dolan of Essex Junction. Dolgan of St. Johnsbury. Donahue of Northfield. Duke of Burlington. Durfee of Shaftesbury. Eastus of Guilford. Emmons of Springfield. Feltus of Linden. Galfetti of Berrytown. Garifano of Essex. Woman of Rockingham. Goodnow of Brattleboro. Ghostland of Northfield. Graining of Jericho. Greer of Bennington. Gregoire of Fairfield. Hengo of Berkshire. Harpole of Glover. Harvey of Castleton. Hedrick of Burlington. Higley of Lowell. Holcomb of Norwich. Hooper of Randolph. Hooper of Burlington. Houghton of Essex Junction. Howard of Rutland City. Helen of Rutland Town. Hoyt of Hartford. Hunter of Manchester. James of Manchester.
Yes, and I'd like to explain my vote.
Kosenska of Burke. Keyser of Rutland City. Kimball Woodstock. Klepner of Burlington. Kornheiser of Brattleboro. Krasnow, South Burlington. Labor of Morgan. Lally of Shelburne. Lalone of South Burlington. Lamont of Morristown. LaRush of Franklin. Lipsky of Stowe. Logan of Burlington. Long of Newfane. Leaders of Lincoln. Uno of St. Albans City. McGuire of Rutland City. Millay of Pittsford. Marcotte of Coventry. Madison of Thetford. McCann of Montpelier. McCoy of Pulteney. McFawn of Berrytown. McGill of Bridport. McLiss of Milton. Mahaly of Calais. Minier of South Burlington. Morganella Milton. Morgan Emma Milton. Morris of Springfield. Morrissey of Bennington. Moore of Weston. Roki of Putney. Nelson of Derby. Nielsen of Brandon. Magro of Bennington. North of Ferrisburg. Noyes of Wolcott. Nugent of South Burlington. O'Brien of Tunbridge. Odie of Burlington. Oliver of Sheldon. Olson of Starksboro. Page of Newport City. Parsons of Newberry. Pezzo of Colchester. Pincenall of Dorset. Pouch of Heinsberg. Powers of Waterford. Priestley of Badford. Pritchard of Paulette. Quimby of Linden. Rachelson of Burlington. Sakowitz of Randolph. Shia of Middlebury. Sheldon of Middlebury. Sibelia of Dover. Southworth of Walden. Squirrel of Underhill. Steady of Milton. Stevens of Waterbury. Stone of Burlington. Sweeney of Shelburne. Taglavia of Corinth. Taylor of Milton. Taylor of Mendon. Tomlinson of Winooski. Torrey of Moortown. Walker of Swanton. Wazazak of Berry City. Waters Evans of Charlotte. Wells of Brownington. White of Waitsfield. White of Bethel. Winter of Ludlow. Wood of Waterbury. Yakavoni of Morristown. Bailey of Hyde Park. Burroughs of West Windsor. Christie of Hartford. Hooper of Burlington. Hoyt of Hartford. Krasnow, South Burlington. Millay of Pittsford. and Parsons of Newport City, or excuse me, Parsons of Newberry. What a Bethel? And what a Waterbury?
For purpose of vote explanation, member from Manchester.
Madam Speaker, Vermont law currently makes it harder to build renewable projects next to each other than in an undisturbed field. I vote yes to support solar smart growth and to make renewable power more affordable for ratepayers. H710 helps us site solar in the places where we want it.
Member from Poultney.
Madam Speaker, while I voted yes for the bill, I am concerned that we are defining electricity generating technology as a method or system used to convert energy from one form into electric power, which includes wind, hydropower or water, solar, or biomass. I believe nuclear should also be included. We will allow the installation of electricity generating technology on acres and acres and acres using solar, hydro, biomass, and wind. In the meantime, these very same acres and acres cannot be used to build much needed housing. I wish we put as much energy into making it easier to develop housing.
Madam Speaker, may I explain my vote?
You may.
I voted yes because if we can open up more land easier for renewable energy, this should prove that we can more easily open up more land for housing with less regulation.
Please listen to the results of your vote. Those voting yes, 108. Those voting no, 30. The ayes have it, and third reading is ordered. Members, that completes the orders of the day. Are there any announcements? Member from Waitsfield.
Madam Speaker, I would just like to remind the body that at 5 o'clock today in room 11, the Women's Caucus has invited representatives from Vermont Works for Women, the Vermont Women's Fund, and the Vermont Commission on Women to share a report entitled Women, Work, and Wages. And immediately following this presentation, there will be a reception in the Cedar Creek Room, and all are invited.
Member from Burlington.
Madam Speaker, tonight the VYO, the Vermont Youth Orchestra, will be playing here in the chamber at 7:30 for Farmers Night. There will be a flute choir, the brass quintet is going to be playing Shakira and Shostakovich. There's also going to be a lot of other cool numbers, but that's just a fun plug. See you here at 7:30.
Member from Westminster.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was a social studies teacher before I was a legislator, so I'm going to take a second day to inform you about a cultural event that's happening today around the world. It's the first day of Losar, which is the beginning of the Tibetan New Year, which is the biggest celebration for Tibetans and Tibetan Buddhists around the world. It's a huge festival time in Tibet, in Nepal, in Bhutan, and in parts of India, and also around the world where Tibetans are living in exile, which actually includes in our state, there's a relatively large population in the Burlington area. So if you know any Tibetans, wish them Losar Tashi Delik.
Are there any further announcements? The chair has a reminder for our schedule tomorrow, members. We will be here at 9 a.m. for the House and Senate Joint Caucus of the Whole on the State of the Guard. Following that, the House will officially convene at 9:45, and we will be hearing resolutions and announcements and then stand in recess until 3:30. And following that, the two chambers will meet in a joint assembly here at 10:30 to elect a new adjutant and inspector general and the Vermont State College's legislative trustees. So 9 o'clock, 9:45, 10:30, and then back here at 3:30 p.m. Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, member from Poultney, can you please offer us a motion to adjourn until Thursday, February 19th at 9:45 a.m.?
Madam Speaker, I make a motion this body stand in adjournment until Thursday, February 19th, 2026 at 9:45 a.m.
You have heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and this body stands in adjournment until tomorrow at 9:45 a.m.